don't think he's scared to box anybody, do you know what I mean? But it might be a case if he thinks, is it worth it? You know, is it...
To be honest, I've been turning the questions down when they keep asking me about other heavyweights, because I have a serious opponent in Jermaine Franklin.
Rounds with him is a tough task. Never mind to bank rounds and, you know...
Point of view, he has been knocked out. So if I'm looking at it from a moral standpoint and saying, for the man...
But them fights there, the ones...
Well, let me answer the question.
You had to have...
I understand that. But what you're asking what I'll do with him now,
yeah.
Right? So the fact that the kid's made a fortune, right, doesn't need to make any more money. I would look at what he wanted to do against what was the best interest of...
This moment turned serious instantly. Moses Itauma tried to stay measured, suggesting a win matters more than anything, even if it is not a knockout. But Ben Davison shut that down on the spot, demanding a knockout in a blunt and almost ruthless tone. It came across like a public challenge to his own fighter, raising the stakes and making it clear that just winning will not be enough here.
Let's say someone's come off a loss and haven't had an opportunity and can't see any light at the end.
At the press conference, Moses Itauma fully embraces the message, repeating damage with real intent. After his trainer demanded a knockout, this felt like a response. He is no longer speaking cautiously, he is accepting the pressure and making it clear he plans to hurt Jermaine Franklin.
I think we know what you're going to do. Moses, good luck on Saturday.
So what do you think?
What do I think you're going to do?
Yeah.
Damage.
Interesting. Agreed.
Damage.
You're probably right.
Damage.
Thank you very much.
Do you know what, lad, there, right at the end, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Jermaine Franklin exudes calm confidence, fully aware of Moses Itauma's reputation. He acknowledges the hype but refuses to be distracted by opinions. Calling Saturday night a war, Franklin sets the tone, showing readiness for any challenge. He is mentally locked in and prepared for the chaos. Moses is promising.
I mean, people gonna feel how they feel, you know, people can have their own opinions or whatever, but you know, I know what I come to do, I know what I can do, so I'm not too much worried about how people feel or their opinions.
Where does Moses rank in the opponents before you fought him that you've already fought? Joshua, Dillian Whyte, etc.
I mean, he's ranked up there, he's ranked top in the division, so, you know, he's a top ranked opponent.
What's going to happen in there on Saturday night?
A masterclass of boxing performance.
And Jermaine, yourself, what's going to happen in there on Saturday?
A war. I'm prepared for anything.
Moses Itauma makes it clear this is more than just another fight. He sees Jermaine Franklin as the ultimate test, the final puzzle piece. His focus is razor-sharp, acknowledging that nothing else matters until this fight is conquered, showing both determination and seriousness in front of the world.
There's questions that my team want to know about me, there's questions that I want to know about myself, and I'm sure that there's a lot of questions that the fan wants to know about me as well. So I feel like Jermaine Franklin is the final piece of the puzzle. So when I get asked about other fights, that's not going to happen if I don't get through Jermaine Franklin. So this is a serious fight, and
Ben Davison highlights the magnitude of the moment, framing Jermaine Franklin as a chance to test true skills. He makes it clear that this is a rare opportunity for Moses Itauma to measure himself against a top-level opponent, reinforcing the pressure and excitement surrounding the showdown.
An opportunity to box one of the greatest ever. Some may say the best heavyweight ever when it's all said and done, potentially. You know, what better opportunity to test your skills than against somebody like that? That's what you're in the game for, so...
Spencer Oliver breaks down the styles perfectly, showing the danger Moses Itauma presents early. His speed, aggression, and southpaw angles could overwhelm Jermaine Franklin if executed correctly. This analysis builds tension, highlighting that preparation and timing will decide if Moses dominates or faces resistance.
In my opinion, Jim, yeah, it is. I think that, you know, you've got to look at the styles. Moses Itauma, we saw what he'd done to Dillian Whyte last time. You know, we expected Dillian Whyte to give him rounds out in Saudi Arabia, and he didn't. He went out there and he absolutely obliterated Dillian in one round, took him apart. Southpaw style, very spiteful and very aggressive. Now, we know Jermaine Franklin, who's only lost to Anthony Joshua on points and Dillian Whyte on points, and a lot of people felt he actually won that fight against Dillian Whyte. He's tricky, he knows how to hustle his way round. I've seen him in the gym, actually. actually. I've been up close and personal with him, you know, through this training camp. And you look at it and you just look at the styles and you go, I think he's in trouble here against a young, fresh Moses who's very spiteful and starts very fast. It could be an early night for Moses Itauma if he gets it tactic.
Jermaine Franklin is not intimidated. He sees openings and plans to exploit them, aiming to push Moses Itauma into unfamiliar territory. His experience gives him confidence, and he fully intends to shock the world. Franklin isn't just surviving this fight. He wants to make a statement and test Moses to the limit.
Stuff I could capitalize off of. I have the ring experience to be able to show different looks and give different looks, so he hasn't really been tested as far as someone seasoned that can just give him different styles, change the looks up, not someone that's just going to sit there and be a punching bag. So,
do you think, I mean, he's never gone past 2 rounds so far, Jermaine. Do you think you could be the first to take him into what would be uncharted territory for Moses?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to be the first to beat him. Forget uncharted territories. I'm trying to be the first to give him to take away his O on his record. So, you know, I guess people think like when you got a young superstar that everybody else is just a walkover or a standing stone. But, you know, I come to fight. I really come to give it my all and to shock the world.
Lawrence Osweek praises Moses's natural attributes, but warns of the untested factor. Talent alone isn't enough at this level. Against Jermaine Franklin, every weakness will be scrutinized. Speed, power, and southpaw skill are impressive, but Franklin could expose gaps if Moses isn't fully prepared and focused.
He's been going through opponents like Bonnie Blue goes through Nickers. Okay, I've come in hot. Okay, let's calm it down. But like a heavyweight should, he brings the excitement, the speed and agility for such a big guy, the power, and he's a southpaw to top it off. He's got it all. When you look at his attributes, he's gifted. He seems to be the full package, but the truth is, he's untested. And yes, I do know as a fighter, you can only fight the man in front of you, and he's been passing with flying colours. But when you do break it down who he's actually fought, Dillian Whyte, way past his best, inactive, a has-been. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Simon Jordan highlights Moses's potential to stun the world with a knockout. He's seen the wow factor before, and a decisive win over Franklin could elevate Moses's status instantly. The pressure is immense, but the upside is huge. A few rounds could define his career trajectory.
And that he has the propensity to put people away that others can't. I mean, I know that we talk about Dillian in that fight, but I think we saw Dillian Whyte a year, 18 months later against Moses Itauma and saw all we needed to see then. Anthony Joshua was rebuilding, but on paper, if Moses goes through Jermaine Franklin, who's considered to be a difficult opponent, will make it difficult for him, and he knocks him out in a couple of rounds, people are going to see the wow factor again. They saw the wow factor against Dempsey McKean because they saw the principle of the fact that he took Hrgovic 11 rounds. They saw the wow factor against the perception of Dillian Whyte, but it will catapult Moses, if he needs any catapulting, into a space where people are going to absolutely insist, insofar as the relevance of people insisting anything, that he goes in against what's perceived to be a top world.
Teddy Atlas breaks down Moses's raw talent and natural power. He's not just strong, he's technically sound, well-trained, and guided carefully. The development has been deliberate, building a fighter capable of explosive moments without risking gaps in skill. Moses's knockout potential is real, but it's backed by craft.
Punches are born. That's my saying. I've said it for years. Punches are born. They are not made. Itauma is a puncher. He was born to be a puncher. So people will expect him to get the knockout. Like Mike Tyson, similar. They were looking at the similarities. Knockouts, young. Matter of fact, there was some talk that maybe he could break Tyson's record and win the heavyweight title as the youngest heavyweight. That's not going to happen. That date has passed. That ship has sailed. But that was something they would think about. I think Frank Warren, his promoter, did the right thing. Rather than rushing it, he gave him the fights he needed to get more seasoning, more maturity, more development. And this is part of that. This is part of that journey. This is part of that job. And that is the job in developing a fighter. And I like him a lot. He's talented. He's technically sound. He's got Ben Davison doing a good job. He had people before that. They've done a good job. He's technically solid. He knows how to fight. He could get you out of there by going to you and by getting you to come to him and counterpunch. He's got good hand speed. As I said, he's fundamentally solid.
Moses Itauma exudes unwavering self-belief, claiming near invincibility on his best night. He acknowledges risk but remains confident that his preparation and team make him unstoppable. This mindset shows a mix of boldness and focus, ready to dominate Jermaine Franklin if he brings his full power and skill.
I don't think anybody can beat me, especially with the team that I've got. I don't think anybody can beat me on my night. I think, obviously, nobody's invincible. Like, there's a possibility that it can go wrong. But I just think if you're talking about like on the odds, I just don't think anyone could like be standing in front of me.
Adam Smith praises Moses's complete skill set, noting his southpaw style, power, and mobility. He raises the question of timing, wondering if this is a leap too soon or the perfect test. Moses's potential is undeniable, but Franklin presents a challenge that could define his next career step.
On the block, Moses Itauma, who looks absolutely extraordinary, and for me he ticks all the boxes. I like his attitude, I like his style, southpaw, hard-hitting, moves so well. He's going to be very, very difficult to sort of deter, so it's an interesting one because, yeah, is this too soon for
Lawrence Oakley weighs Moses's explosiveness against the need for consistency. Speed, power, and skill are potent weapons, but sustaining that intensity across the full fight is the real challenge. Moses has the tools, yet Franklin could exploit any lapses in focus or stamina if the fight stretches late.
I'm 50-50. Personally, it depends on what style he brings. So it's like, I think if he's like measured, then yes. But if he does what I think he might try and do, which is I'm gonna show this guy, get inside and work like clever shots, I don't think so. I think with someone like Moses, who is naturally so explosive and so quick and technical, he's got so many good attributes. But as we've seen with in any sport, across any profession, that explosiveness, in my opinion, cannot happen for 12 rounds. It never happened.
Jermaine Franklin shows confidence in his adaptability. He's prepared to counter Moses's speed and unpredictability, changing his approach mid-fight. Franklin's experience and versatility make him dangerous, especially against a young, explosive fighter like Moses who thrives on aggression but could be tested strategically.
No, he might be one of the fastest guys, but I spar a lot of fast guys. I think I'm ready for the hand speed.
Dave Allen highlights the mental toughness required to ignore distractions. Fighting at this level isn't just physical, it's about blocking out noise and staying focused. Moses and Franklin will both need discipline under pressure, proving that composure is as vital as power inside the ring.
I get shit all the time on the internet, but what am I going to do about it? What can I do about it? I'll get fucking 5 years if I hit someone.
So why would you care with the position you're in?
It's not that you don't care, because you can care sometimes. Sometimes you'll see comments and you'll think, you cheeky bastard. You think, if I ever got a fucking hold of you and I can get away with it, I'd fucking rip you fucking...
Simon Jordan predicts a potential knockout, emphasizing Moses Itauma's explosive power. He isn't disrespecting Franklin, but highlights the danger Moses poses if he lands clean. This fight could end abruptly if Moses executes his aggression perfectly, making every round tense and unpredictable.
Gonna get knocked out. I do. I think I just know. And by the way, saying someone's going to get knocked out is not meant to be disrespectful. I'm not disrespecting Jermaine. I'm looking at the fight, looking at Moses Itauma, looking at what I've seen from Jermaine, and I think that ideally, I don't want to see an early fight. I want to see a good fight. I want to see Jermaine stick it on Moses.
Roy Jones Jr. notices Moses Itauma's composed energy in camp. Calmness under pressure is a rare trait for a young fighter and could make a huge difference on fight night. His focused mindset complements his power and skill, signaling that Moses is prepared for the big challenge ahead.
Yeah, just going through the motion, he's serious about it, so I liked it.
Yeah, like his energy was like very calming throughout the week.
Yes.
Liam Goff considers this matchup ideal for Moses Itauma's growth. Franklin is a credible, tricky opponent, providing the perfect test. This fight offers a measuring stick for Moses, while also presenting an exciting clash on a strong card that could elevate his standing in a heavyweight division.
I think that Jermaine Franklin versus Moses Itauma is a really, really good fight for Itauma's progression.
I think he's a solid opponent. I've got no issues whatsoever. It's on a very, very good card. No mention of pay-per-view as well, which is even better. But it's a solid opponent. Jermaine Franklin, when he fought Dillian Whyte, going into that fight, I kind of looked at him and thought, he looked awkward, but nothing special. He gave a good account of himself against Dillian Whyte. Some people actually felt that he did enough to win the fight. I wasn't one of them. I thought Dillian Whyte won the fight.
Dev Sahani praises the matchmaking, framing Moses against Franklin as a true test. Can he dominate early rounds and still finish the job? This fight combines excitement and challenge, offering a chance for Moses to prove he's more than just a powerhouse, but a tactical, smart fighter under pressure.
Moses here, this is going to be a case of, let's see, 1, if we can get rounds. 2, can he do a better job than Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte did? Can he get rounds but also get him out of there? I guess that's kind of the question for Moses. But for me, this is the perfect bit of matchmaking. This is everything that fight fans have wanted. They want to see what happens when Moses Itauma goes a few rounds, has someone who's...
Frank Warren highlights the quality of this bout as a real test for Moses Itauma. Franklin is experienced, tough, and capable of exposing weaknesses. This fight isn't just about power. It's a chance to show skill, intelligence, and resilience under pressure.
In the meantime, I think we put together a brilliant fight with Jermaine Franklin, the American. It's going to be a good fight. I think, with Moses and him, I think it's going to be a good fight, and I think it's a good test for Moses.
Ade Oladipo notes the stylistic intrigue of this matchup. Moses' size advantage and Franklin's aggressive approach could play perfectly into Moses' strengths. This fight promises tactical battles and explosive moments, making it a must-watch for fans hungry for high-stakes action.
Moses brings his own problems to Jermaine, but they're probably around the same height, maybe Moses a couple of inches taller. I like this matchup. Stylistically, I like this matchup as well. Like, Jermaine comes to fight, and that could sort of fall into Moses' hands.
Oladipo emphasizes patience in Moses' career path. Franklin, a top 30 contender, is the right level to test skill and growth. Comparing Moses' performance to fighters like Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte will show if he's ready for elite opposition while maintaining his developmental trajectory.
I honestly thought this is the perfect opponent for Moses' development. You can't rush Moses. I know everyone wants to see him in there with killers. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I think he's ready. But the fact is, you do have to take your time with Moses. And I think someone like a Jermaine Franklin, who is a top 30 guy, top 30 guy, who again, we've seen him with AJ and Dillian Whyte, so we can compare Moses' performance against him. And
Peter Fury highlights Moses' raw power and potential while raising key questions about adaptability. Can Moses handle a fast, ferocious, technical opponent? This fight is a true examination of his skill set, punching power, and ability to adjust under the pressure of a real live test.
Look, it's a good fight to make. Dillian Whyte's got the experience. He's also, he can punch, he's strong, he's a big unit. But can he negate the speed, the power and the ferocity of this young heavyweight coming? And he gives angles, he's a good boxer as well. So that's the thing. You've got experience against somebody who's up and coming that hasn't been tested yet because he's so sharp, so deadly.
This fight is more than just about it as a statement for both Moses Itauma and Jermaine Franklin. Moses brings explosive power, speed, and confidence, while Franklin counters with experience, resilience, and tactical intelligence. The stakes are high. If Moses dominates, he cements himself as the next big name in heavyweight boxing. But if Franklin shocks the world, it proves heart and skill can overcome youth and raw power mentally. This fight will test who wants it more, who can stay composed under pressure. Fight fans, get ready for fireworks, and let us know in the comments who you think will come out on top.